Oh wow. Hey girl, hey. This is part two of my knotless braid tutorial. If you have not seen part one, you need to stop right now and go watch this video right here because listen, I give very descriptive details. I give you all the right angles so you can see exactly what I'm saying. And if you did not watch part one, you won't know how to start your braid, add the hair and section. But if you did, here's a quick refresher. First of all, I'm so rude. I didn't even introduce myself. I'm Sky.Onjahnae. If you're new here, shout out to all my new subscribers and my faithful loyal ones. I'm getting so many subscribers and I just appreciate it. I love the comments that I see on my videos and I'm going to try so hard to push out these videos, but life is getting real crazy. But yeah, go ahead and continue. Enjoy this refresher. Then we're going to get right into part two. Okay, so the key is nice and neat braids. And the first thing you need to do is make sure that all of your sections are the same size. That's what I showed in part one, how to section your hair for specifically for medium knotless braids. So that's one way that makes your braid neat. Another thing is you want to make sure your fingers are nice and tight. I'm only using my fingertips. That's going to help that's really going to help you grip those strands and make sure they're even. And I'm also adding gel to the strands so my hair can be slick because my hair is a little fuzzy, and it's going to help just blend those two my real hair and the braiding hair together. Another thing you want to make sure, because braiding hair gets extremely tangled, you want to make sure every couple of braid downs you go straight through all the way to the ends to remove those tangles, because if you don't, by the time you get to the end, you're going to have to really force it and pull it out, and that's going to make the rest of your braid look dysfunctional, and we don't want that, because what's the goal? Neat knotless braids, honey. Okay, so y'all see that little piece right there? We're about to go back and tuck that. I'm going to show you. Oh my gosh, my voice. I'm going to show you how to get rid of that. And so that one, your braids can last longer. And two, you won't have an issue with your braids, your hair poking out, because that's not cute. Nobody want that. And the girls are charging extra to tuck. So we need to learn how to do it ourselves. So what you want to do, don't worry, I'm going to bring you up closer and I'm going to slow it down so you can actually see. So I'm applying my gel, and while doing that, I'm also spreading that braiding hair out. But the thing is, I'm going to twist and then braid. That way you're twisting that hair, your real hair, under that hair, under the braiding hair, and it makes it hard for the hair to peek out. So here's a slow-mo and up close of me doing that. Another major key to having neat braids is taking your time, especially if you're not a braider. You need to be taking your time. This clip is in real time. You see, first of all, you see how that piece of hair is now tucked away, but you see how neat that braid is. That's because I'm taking my time and I'm not trying to rush it. You don't need to be swifty fingers to get this done. We trying to get it done nice and neatly the first time so our braids can last longer. Please, if you don't take anything away from this video, please take away this part of braiding the ends, because we're not trying to have our braids unravel. So what you want to do is you have your 3 strands, but you want to section out a piece of one strand and add it to the other. I hope that's making sense, but clearly you can see what I'm doing. I'm just, every couple braid downs, I section off a piece of hair from one strand and add it to the other. And what that does, it kind of confuses the strands. So it's not a clean route to unravel. They have to go through all these type of loops, and it's just not going to unravel because it won't be able to, because the hair is all twisted and tied up. And because the braid is so small, it still looks like a braid. You won't be able to tell that there's all the loops and turns, but honestly it still looks like a braid when you really look at it. And this just helps for when we go ahead and dip the hair in the boiling water to seal it. That helps too, to keep the hair from unraveling. Okay, so before I explain what and how I'm going to dip my braids, I need you to understand why you need to be using boiling water. So braiding hair is synthetic hair, which means it will burn off. So boiling water is the perfect amount of heat to make sure your ends get sealed. It's going to burn it slightly so the braid doesn't unravel, and to loosen that hair up. But fire is too harsh, it'll literally burn the hair off. That's why if you leave the hair in the water too long, that's how you get those curly ends, because it's starting to like burn. And just regular hot water isn't going to be enough to seal those ends. You want it to slightly burn a little bit. It's not going to be so much of a burn that you can physically see it, well, physically visibly see it, but it's going to start to curl up. That's how you get those little curls. So I just need to make sure y'all understood that, so you won't just go and try to use hot water. There's a reason to use the boiling water, and that's why. So when you are dipping your hair, you want to make sure you fold your towel over like I did. I think I folded mine over twice. That's because, again, this is boiling water. So we want to make sure we aren't burning ourselves, because I've definitely made that mistake a couple times trying to dip my braids without folding that towel over, and the boiling water literally burnt the towel and burnt my hand. So please be careful and fold your towel over multiple times like I did. So you want to take your braids in sections when you do this. That way the water is distributed evenly and you won't miss any braids. So you want to dip the end slightly, and you want to dip it in really quick. You don't want to hold your braids in there, because again, this is boiling water, and that's how you get those curly ends. That curl means the hair is burning off. So you want to take your time with this, and you want to dip it. Take your time by sectioning and doing it in sections, but you want to dip it pretty quickly. And you can dip it multiple times. It just depends on how you feel, if your braids aren't as loose enough or whatever the case may be. But I would say don't dip it more than 3 times, just because that's excessive. Okay, now we're trying to seal these braids and get rid of those flyaways and make our braids look nice, shiny, and neat. Y'all, how, Sway? Yeah. Anyway, I'm using some regular Nairobi foam. You can find it at your local beauty supply store, and you just want to spray that or squirt that, whatever, however you want to say it. You just want to put it all over your braids, and what that's going to do is going to seal those hairs down. It's just going to bring that natural shine out to those braids, and it's just gonna make your braids look nice and sleek. And I'm literally saturating it with this stuff just because we want shiny braids. I don't know about y'all, but I want my braids to have that natural shine like real hair does. So you just do that to both sides. And then we're going to take our got to be spray and just spray that hair. This is also going to seal the hair down, and it's going to make sure, because these are knotless braids, it's going to make sure our roots stay nice and wow, why can't I find the words? Every time I do voiceovers, the words just like leave my head. And that stain is really just a hot mess. But the got to be is going to seal the hair, and it's going to make sure that those roots stay nice and tight, nice and sealed, nice and flat. So yeah, you're just going to repeat this all over your head. I'm only showing the front. If you notice, I only showed the front sections because I didn't need to show all 4 sections. It just is repetitive. Braiding your hair is repetitive. And that's why I said in my part 1 that you should start in the back. That way you get that muscle memory, and you can start getting the hang of what you're doing. So by the time you get to the front, those will be your neatest braids. You should aim for neatness from jump, but if you are new, starting in the back helps you, because the front is where everyone's going to see it. So you would rather those be the neatest braids, and then, the back, you can always go back and fix that if you choose to do so. I usually when I first started learning how to braid, I just left it as is, because I'm like, it's a lot of work, and I was not trying to go back. Another option is to let your hair air dry, which is what I do, but you can also blow dry it to, because the hair is going to be dripping wet because we just dipped it in water. But letting it air dry is just fine. If you unless you're in a rush or anything, you don't need to necessarily blow dry it. But I mean, that's an option for you if you would like to. Just take your blow dryer and run it up and down your braids. But thank you all so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed this. Leave down in the comments and tag me in your photos on Instagram at Sky.Onjahnae if you do your own braids. And if you made it through to the end of this video, why aren't you subscribed yet? Because I'm sure this is like your second or third video, so you might as well subscribe to me. So see you all in my next video.